सुखम् अनन्तपारस्य निवृत्तितः सुखम् प्रवर्तमानस्य गुणैर्नात्मनः ततो भवान् दर्शय चेष्टितं विभो
One more devotee.
विचक्षणो स्यारति वेदितं विभो
अनन्तपारस्य निवृत्तितः सुखम् प्रवर्तमानस्य गुणैरात्मनः ततो भवान् दर्शय चेष्टितं विभो
Vichakshanaha, very expert, asya, of him, arhati, deserves, veditam, to understand, vibhaho, of the Lord, anantaparasya, of the unlimited, nivrittita, retired from sukham, material happiness, pravrittamanasya, those who are attached to gunaihi, by the material qualities, anatmanaha, devoid of knowledge, in spiritual value, tataha, therefore, bhavan, your goodness, darshaya, show the ways, cheshtitam, activities, vibhaho, of the Lord. Translation performed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the Supreme Lord is unlimited. Only a very expert personality, retired from the activities of material happiness, deserves to understand this knowledge of spiritual values. Therefore, those who are not so well situated due to material attachment should be shown the ways of transcendental realization by your goodness through descriptions of transcendental activities of the Supreme Lord. Purport. Theological science is a very difficult subject, especially when it deals with the transcendental nature of God. It is not a subject matter to be understood by persons who are too much attached to material activities. Only the very expert who have almost retired from materialistic activities by the culture of spiritual knowledge can be admitted into the study of this great science. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that out of many hundreds and thousands of men, only one person deserves to enter into the transcendental realization. And out of many thousands of such transcendently realized persons, only a few can understand the theological science specifically dealing with God as a person. Sri Vyasadeva is therefore advised by Narada to describe the science of God directly by relating his transcendental activities. Vyasadeva is himself a personality expert in this science, and he is unattached to material enjoyment. Therefore, he is the right person to describe it. And Shukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, is the right person to receive it. Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost theological science, and therefore it can react on this layman as medicinal doses. Because it contains the transcendental activities of the Lord, there is no difference between the Lord and the literature. The literature is the factual literary incarnation of the Lord. So the layman can hear the narration of the activities of the Lord. Thereby they are able to associate with the Lord and thus gradually become purified from material disease. The expert devotees also can discover novel ways and means to convert the non-devotees in terms of particular time and circumstance. Devotional service is dynamic activity, and the expert devotee can find out competent means to inject it into the dull brains of materialistic population. Such transcendental activities of the devotees for the service of the Lord can bring a new order of life to the foolish society of materialistic men. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his subsequent followers exhibited expert dexterity in this connection. By following the same method, one can bring the materialistic men of this age of quarrel into order for peaceful life and transcendental realization. Om Shri Shri Chaitanya Manobhisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padmanam Shri Gurum Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saragana Raghunathamitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Saragana Lalita Shri Vishakamitam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Prachayani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Kashati Deshari Kalpatarudesha Kripa Sindhu Pevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratishe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishwanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna. So in continuing with the same subject, here Narad Muni is instructing Vyasadeva that this subject matter of understanding the Supreme Lord, Veditin Vibhor. So, like Vibho means like he is the great personality, and we are Anu. So, like sometimes this example is given of the frog in the well trying to understand, the ocean. So, ocean is like very great and very big body, and in comparison to that, the frog is a very small entity, and it doesn't have an experience of ocean also, first-hand experience of the ocean also. Even those who have got an experience of the ocean cannot understand the length and breadth and the depth of the ocean. So, like for a person who doesn't have any experience of the ocean, so ocean we can imagine as the Supreme Lord and the transcendental realm, and then the well is like the material existence. And one who has got only experience of material existence, he cannot even start to imagine about the extent of the ocean. So like, we see that the Vibho is a very nice word that is used. So like, the Lord is unlimited actually, so it is, to very, very expert person, Vichakshano, very expert, so they can actually understand. So they can understand means also not understand the Lord completely. Nobody can understand the Lord completely. So we often use this example of a traveler, a thirsty traveler. He comes across a water body, and he takes a little bit of water, maybe 1 liter or 2 liter, how much he can take, and then he is satisfied with that. So that is what is the experience that a person can have. So he is full with water. Now this person is full with water, but he is not full with all the water. So like that is not possible. So somebody can become fully Krishna conscious. So it doesn't mean that he understands Krishna fully. No, it is not possible. So like a very expert person can actually access the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he can be full with Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, and the next words that's used also is very nice, Ananta Bharasya. So, Vibho is also pointing to the Lord, and Ananta Bhara is also pointing to the Lord, so which is coming to the same kind of meaning. So, like, he is unlimited, he is like really very unlimited personality. So, and though he is seen in the form of particular, the Mayavadis have a difficulty in accepting the form of the Lord. So one of the reasons is that the Supreme Absolute Truth, so it is very well described in the Upanishads, and so one of the qualities of the Supreme Absolute Truth is it is unlimited. So when you say that the Lord has a form. So form will have a boundary, you know. So how will you know? How will you actually accommodate that He is unlimited? So, but this unlimited has a form as well. So that is the beauty of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, this is an unlimited form, right? So, and Arjuna had a first-hand experience of the unlimited form. You know, he was like not able to understand the beginning or end of the, you know, universal form of the Supreme Lord. So that is just a, you know, just a display of the unlimited nature of the Supreme Lord. So everything about Him is unlimited. So, but you know, He can also make Himself available or make Himself visible, you know, within our limited frame of seeing. So that is also possible for the Lord. So here, you know, the Lord is described as Ananta Parasya. And then Nivruta Sukham. So like one of the main, the main subject matter of all the scriptures that deals with, you know, is how to become detached from this material world and how to get attached to the Supreme Lord. So this is the thing that has been discussed about. And so in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna very nicely, you know, asked this question, and then this nice introduction to this subject is given. So like before that, the spirit was nicely described. And after that, you know, we see that, you know, like the process of understanding the Supreme Lord, the Karma Yoga is described. And after that, like the main problem that is to deal with, you know. So what is the main problem to deal with? We are spirit souls. We are meant to be there in the spiritual world. We are meant to have attachment to the Supreme Spirit, you know, that is Krishna. So, but unfortunately, like we are there in this material world and we are attached to material things. So now from here, you know, how will we move there? You know, this is the whole question that is asked about. So, like here, the two words that are used, nivritti and pravritti. So there are two, nivritta sukham and pravritta manasya. So these two are, you know, like very, very important terminologies. So there is, you know, two things that are there. One is nivritti, that is, one is like, you know, people who try to give up this material world and try to approach the Supreme Lord, you know, try to like spend time on the culture of, you know, spirit. And then other category is that pravriti, is that to explore the advancement in the material side and at the same time make spiritual progress also. Because pravriti, that is the understanding, you know, the overall understanding that we can have. There is another kind of pravritti that is there without making spiritual advancement, only making material advancement. So that is like very, very condemned. You know, that is very it is not to be practiced by any yogi. So basically, that is the kamya karmas and things like that, where they have active attachment, you know, to grow in material side. So, but then no attachment for growing in spiritual side. So that is not a very good pravritti. So like acceptable kind of a pravritti is, so you make material advancement and simultaneously you are interested in spiritual advancement as well. You know? So that is accepted as a pravritti. And then pravritta manasya gunair anatmanas, like gunair means like the material qualities. So they are attached to the material qualities or material modes of nature. And so they must be anatmana, so that Atma means the Supreme Lord. So our knowledge, you know, here Anatmanasya is translated as devoid of knowledge in spiritual values. So that means one who is not attached to the Supreme Lord, or one whose goal is not the Supreme Lord. So then he must be, obviously he must be not knowledgeable. Knowledge means to know about the Supreme. Knowledge means to know about the soul and the super soul, so that is called knowledge. And here anatmanasya means like devoid of knowledge in spiritual values. And therefore, so your good self, you know, Narad Muni is addressing to Vyasadeva, that Darshaya, you know, you should show the path, you know, like you should show the ways and activities, you know, in order to attain the Supreme Lord. You know, so like ways and here it is mentioned, your goodness through descriptions of the transcendental activities of the Lord. You know, you should actually show the path to those people who are in the pravritti marga. You know, so like nivritti marga, though, like it is described. So nivritti marga, it is those who are expert. So expert means like here those who give up the kamya karmas and those who actually practice the varnashrama very nicely. So over a period of time, they develop jnana. So and then when they develop jnana, so they are admitted into the school of Upanishads. In the Vedic literatures, in any of the Vedas, if you take, there are 4 divisions. So for brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas, and sannyasis. Like, what is the division for brahmacharis?
Brahmanika.
Huh?
Brahmanika.
Brahmanas is for grihasthas. Samhitas, brahmanas. Aranya is like the word itself says. It is meant for whom? Huh? Vanaprastha. Aranya means like it is forest, and Vana, no. Vanaprastha means jo one ko prastha kar rahe, like, so that is Vanaprastha. So Aranyakas are for sannyasis. So this is like any of the Veda, it is dealing with the same subject, but the same subject has these different divisions. So just like the modern day, like a kid is admitted in the school, and first thing that is bought, purchased is what? Huh? Pencil, pen, and then after that, textbooks. Textbooks has to be purchased. So this textbook has to be purchased. So here in the Vedic time, so the textbooks has to be memorized. So that is the process of purchasing. तो छोटा छोटा बच्चे हैं like उसको सब रट मार देते हैं. So then after that, like when the kid becomes little older, so then the teacher will say, so like so and so shloka, so and so chapter, so and so this one, and this is the meaning of it. बुक परचेस नहीं किया होता तो लाइक उसको रेफर नहीं कर पाएंगे. सो लाइक छोटा बच्चे से लाइक वो मेमोराइज नहीं किया होता, so then he cannot attend the further classes, because further classes will all be reference to those things which are memorized already. So it is like so like that. So the samhitas, brahmanas. So brahmanas actually deal with the subject matter. So it is very, very clear. The divisions were very clear, and the subjects taught also were very clear. So because a grihastha is expected to conduct a life in such a way that his material needs are taken care of, and at the same time he makes spiritual progress. So he need to be taught in a certain way, right? So and then the vanaprasthas, their duty is primarily towards the jnana. So they have given up karma. So they have almost given up karma. Very little aspects of karma is there for them. And then mostly on the subject of jnana. And for sannyasis, like mostly the subject is only jnana. So they don't deal with anything about karma. So the subject is different. So accordingly the textbook is also a little different, right? So the same subject matter, the subject matter of the understanding of the Supreme Lord in a particular way. So that is taught differently to brahmacharis, differently to grihasthas, differently to the vanaprasthas, and differently to the sannyasis, right? So in this way, this one, the subject matter goes like this, and as it goes to vanaprasthas and sannyasa, so like the subject matter more dwells on the spiritual subject, and in the platform of sannyasi, like they completely give up the karma or varnashrama. So or basic varnashrama, the sannyasi has certain duties in varnashrama. So he just performs that much. The rest of the things, he gets absorbed from that. So when such a thing actually happens, so when a person comes to the platform of jnana, or accepts the order of the vanaprastha or sannyasa, so that is when he starts understanding about the Supreme Lord. So he starts understanding about the Brahman. So like that is this one. So here Prabhupada also quotes that shloka from Bhagavad Gita, at least in the English. He mentions that out of many hundreds and thousands of men, only one deserves to enter into transcendental realization. What is that? Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit vedati siddhaye. Yatatam api siddhanam kaschit ma vedi tattvataha. So like, there are many thousands of people are there. So only very few, very few, actually come to the point of siddhi. Siddhi means to come to the point of only 3 siddhis in the transcendental this one. So we only accommodate 3 siddhis. So like, whereas in the purusharthas, like dharma, artha, kama is also accepted as goals. Like but then when we come to the transcendental plane, so we accept siddhis as Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, and Bhagavan realization. Siddhi means perfection. So any activity that we do, perfection. So just like if you study in a college, the perfection is graduation. You get graduated and you are awarded with the title that you are bachelor of so and so or you are master of so and things like that. So that's the perfection. Like if you perform that, and end of it is like you should attain the ultimate goal that is defined for that particular activity. So whatever activities, transcendental activities is performed, the perfection is, it must be either Brahman, Paramatma or Bhagavan. So that is the perfection that is there. So like here, at least the perfection that is talked about in this particular sloka, Manushyanam Sahasreshu, it is very clear that it is the perfection, Siddhi that is talked about is not about Bhagavan realization, because Lord covers that later part in the sloka, that what is that? Kashin mam veti tattvataha. So, like, very, very, few people, actually understand me in truth. That is the siddhi of Bhagavan realization. So then the first siddhi that is talked about is about Brahman realization. So very, very rare that somebody comes to the platform of Brahman realization. And even those people who come to the platform of Brahman realization, very, very few, amongst them actually comes to the point of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is very, very difficult subject matter. So as in the beginning we discussed, that we are used to the material subject matter, material world, and we are used to dealing with the material things. And the Supreme Lord is the Supreme Spirit, and that's like the ocean. So like we have, with our limited experience of how can we actually understand about the ocean? It is beyond our comprehension, beyond our imagination. It's quite difficult to understand. So Prabhupada nicely starts this purport with this word called theological science. Now theology means what? Huh? Study of God, yeah. So like this all zoology, biology, all this logy, actually, it is means study, zoology means like, zoo or animals ko study karna. Biology means botanical study, like that. And theo is generally means God, So like theistic and theology and all these things comes from the same word. So, but it is anyway, it's an English word. So like we don't have much to do with this English word. So it is science of God. So like science of God is a very, very difficult subject matter. Like everybody knows God in one sense. Like if you ask, especially in India, like Ottawala also will say like something about God. So everybody knows God, and especially during book distribution. And when we present Bhagavad Gita, they tell, "Arey, like no, हमको पता है Bhagavad Gita." उस time पे like no spontaneous knowledge आता है उनको. So he would have never thought about the whole day about God, And then when he see a book distributor, he'll speak half an hour about God. So we know about God, we don't need this book. So like that. So, but then that is not the kind of understanding that is spoken about. So all of us also may have some understanding of God. So we know about deity worship, we know about some like concepts in Gita about body and soul, we know different yoga systems, we know. And we know like there exist Brahman realization, Bhagavan realization and things like that. There exist, we don't know. So like we know a lot of aspects of this one. So this is the theoretical aspect of it, and also maybe practical realization to some extent, maybe there, with different devotees. So, but to come to the point of understanding God, it's a very, very high, subject. It's very, very difficult subject. So, Prabhupada mentions that theological science is a difficult subject, especially when it deals with the transcendental nature of God. What other things it can deal with? So, materially speaking, they talk about religion as a general thing. So, but in our Vaishnava philosophy, we understand that different kinds of realizations that are there. So Brahman realization, Paramatma realization itself is difficult, and Bhagavan realization is like super difficult subject actually. And it is not a subject matter to be understood by persons who are too much attached to material activities. So that is one very important thing. Like now, it is something to be taken like this. A fever is there, so and you have to come out of fever. You have to become normal. So, like two things that are prescribed. One is the favorable thing for recovery, and another is unfavorable thing for recovery. So favorable thing is the medicine, and unfavorable thing is ice cream, and this stuff like that and all. So this is all like unfavorable thing, to get rid of the fever. So now, like two prescriptions. One is you should take the medicine, and you should take some healthy food, and you should not touch the thing that will aggravate your disease, right? So this is the two things that are mentioned. So here when we are there with material fever, so the prescription is that you take the spiritual things, that is, you chant the names of the Lord, you study Srimad Bhagavatam, now you take part in the spiritual activities, and then you refrain from material activities because you have the material fever, and more you engage in material activities, so then it will aggravate the condition, it will aggravate the fever. So, but in case if you want to, there is no choice, you have to engage in the material activities, then you have to engage according to the scriptural rules and regulations, so that it doesn't add up to the fever, it just be a neutral, this one. It acts as a neutral entity, so it doesn't contribute to the spiritual progress, but at the same time it doesn't aggravate the material disease also. So at least if we spend 2-3 hours or 4 hours of time in Krishna consciousness, that should not be drained by the other activity. So that's why leading a dharmic life is a very, very essential thing for the grahasthas. So a dharmic life coupled with a good solid spiritual activity. So time spent in that. So and in this whole package, there should not be any this one for allowance for the kamya karmas, for extra package for sense gratification. So that includes the demigod worship and many other aspects that are there. So those has to be given up. So that is when a person actually becomes a yogi. A person starts making spiritual progress. So this is a general principle. So in different yoga systems, so these parameters are changed. How much of refrainment from matter and how much of indulgence in spirit. That's this one. So if you take a medicine, so different prescriptions are there. So and different prescriptions takes different kind of time. So once I remember I had some kind of a peculiar skin disease, which was so much irritating when I was very small, and I used to go to an Ayurvedic doctor. And the Ayurvedic doctor used to say that you should take these pills, and you should not take certain things are not favorable for Ayurvedic medicine, like taking coffee and almost like our regulative principles, so which is there. So you should not do all those things. So but then those times we used to be attached to so many things. So I used to take some a small kid, not much of understanding. So I used to take all these other things also, prohibited things also, which is which will make the Ayurvedic medicine ineffective. So the doctor once got frustrated, So, he took a cup of that concentrated this one, So, generally Ayurvedic medicine is sugar balls are there, So small cup of this one they used to put in the thing, and then all the sugar balls will absorb, and most of it is only sugar ball. And the medicine is only very little, little it used to go. So, but one day he took the whole this one, and it is one cup of medicine, and he put in the mouth. He's an expert doctor, it's put in the mouth, and then within 2 days the disease is cured. And so then I asked the doctor, if you know this such kind of a technique, why don't you give? Why did you waste 1-2 years of my this one? I was suffering from the disease. So then he told, no, it is not generally used like that. So generally it is given in small dosages, and then in very aggravated cases, we give this strong dose also. So that he mentioned. so the life of renunciation is something like that, strong dose. And so the normal path is the normal medicine, with the sugar pills and little bit of medicine, and gradually it will cure and stuff like that. And in between, if we do something, and it will slow the process and things like that and all. So in that case, in the first case, I had to be so much careful about all my restrictions and this and that and all. So, but in the second case, I was not given any choice. The medicine was injected and finished. So that was like a nice realization. I was just remembering about that. So here it is mentioned this two parameters. Basically these two parameters. So refinement from the matter and indulgence in the spirit. These two things are adjusted so to form different yoga systems. To accommodate different yoga systems. So like when it comes to the this one like karma yoga. So more this one what is it like allowance for engaging in the material this one. So less material restrictions and more what is it or more allowance in the material this one and less of spiritual component is there. And so when it comes to jnana yoga, a little more restrictions are there. When it comes to dhyana yoga, a little more restrictions in the material things are there. And when it comes to bhakti yoga, even more restrictions are there. So what we understand as bhakti yoga is simple and bhakti yoga is easy and things like that is of and we have discussed it many times, like the entry point, anybody is allowed into bhakti yoga. So whereas the jnana and dhyana accepts only people who are purified by the previous processes. A jnana yogi can only enter into the jnana yoga after he becomes thoroughly purified by executing the karma yoga. He cannot enter into jnana yoga without executing karma yoga. So with a contaminated consciousness, he cannot be admitted. So but Srila Prabhupada went to the Western world. He picked up hippies who don't even know anything about anything about dharmic life, and then he engaged them in the angas of bhakti. So and it worked. This will not a teacher of jnana yoga would have gone to the Western world. He would say hell with this place, get lost. These guys are going to hell, and why should I break my head with these people? There is no point breaking head with these people. So first of all, they should after they go down, after this life, they will become degraded into hellish existence, and after that they'll come back in the animal form, and then like that, and then some way they may get into the form of a cow, and after that they may take the birth as a dharmic in a dharmic family. So and after that they may I will come and preach to them, no preaching. So but bhakti yoga is very very amazing that it can accommodate a person from any category. Kirata Hunandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abira Shumba Yavana Kashave. So so like anybody, anybody from any platform, can actually be admitted into the process of bhakti, and bhakti yoga works. The process of bhakti actually works, and then it it helps a person to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. So that in that way, the entry point is very very nice, but exit point is always very narrow and very very strict actually, and especially entrance into Goloka Vrindavan is very very strict. That was demonstrated by Krishna himself when he brought his eternal associates and then performed pastimes here. So we saw that Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, so how much they were attached to Krishna and how much they were ready to give up their own pleasures to serve Krishna and things like that. So when the Krishna was dancing upon Kaliya, so somebody could have devotees actually have very nice this one amazing Krishna is dancing so nice. So but then for them what is there this one that is going on in their mind? So they are in anxiety. Not just Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maya, all the Brajavasis, they are all in anxiety. So and what is that they wanted to do? Save Krishna. And how? How to save Krishna? Jump into Yamuna. And the first thing what will happen if they jump into Yamuna? They will die. So they will die. So this is something very important to understand. Gopis and all, it's the Krishna actually demonstrated. What is the level of attachment to spirit and detachment from matter it is necessary to actually approach the Supreme Lord Krishna, to enter into the realm of Goloka Vrindavan. So like somebody who is there, who is telling that to hell with all the material things, I only want Krishna. So that is the qualification to enter into the this transcendental realm. So it is very very high qualification, and we also see that to come to that kind of qualification, generally it takes many many lifetimes. Manushyanam sahasreshu. So all these things are there. So but with what faith and with what courage that we are actually trying to approach this goal within one lifetime or maybe in few lifetimes. So it is only because of the mercy of the Supreme Lord and the power of the process of Bhakti Yoga and the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva and Srila Prabhupada. So we have been given an opportunity to access the process of chanting the names of the Lord, studying Srimad Bhagavatam and dedicating our life in like performing the devotional service of the Lord. So this is not at all an ordinary thing. It's not at all an ordinary thing. So like we all always we have to remember these kind of shlokas of humility. Like the shloka that we always remember of the Sudama, that Kvaham Daridra Papiyam Kva Krishna Shriniketana Brahma Bandhu Ritismaham Bahubhyam Parirambita. So like who am I? Like I am such a sinful and wretched person. So, and who is Krishna? Like in our case, Krishna is in the form of the holy name and Bhagavatam. So, like, who is Krishna? So, like, what is, why should I be given this opportunity? Why should I be given this opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness? So, but Krishna is so merciful. The acharyas are so merciful. The devotees are so merciful. So, they have given us this opportunity to practice. So, we should take it up very, very seriously. That it is not something, something that is like freely available or something like that. It is very rare. The opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness is very rare, and we have been given this opportunity. So, with all humility and with all gratitude, we should try to approach this process. So, for the process of Bhakti Yoga to function, so these two parameters are very essential, or these two qualities are very essential. Humility and gratitude. So when we have this humility and gratitude, so then we make tremendous progress in Krishna consciousness, right? So always we should try to see, what is that we have been given and what is our qualification? Why should I be given this opportunity? So we should always, meditate about this particular aspect. So like we see a similar kind of a mood that occurs in Ajamil. So Ajamil was so much in materialistic activities. Not even dharmic materialistic activities, he was completely performing adharma. And after he met the Vishnu Dutas, like that the conversation between Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas happened. So after that he got an extension, like there was Vishnu Dutas defeated the Yamadutas. They didn't even spend time with like Ajamil. So like okay, these guys have gone, so like let's तुमको माला कैसा पकड़ना है सिखाते हैं like so कैसा घुमाना है, things like that, and शास्त्र पढ़ना, nothing, no, this one. So his whole Shastra, his whole Bhagavad Gita is a conversation that happened between these two personalities, right? So that happened, and abruptly both parties went. So like after that, what was his state of mind at that point in time? He was repentant. Then?
His feeling he was given a second chance.
Yeah, the feeling of given a second chance. And then?
He was thinking like only by taking Narayan did not skill. Vishnudutta came for rescue. If I take more than.
Yeah. So he could understand that glory of that particular goal. So like all this while his goal was only material things. And as we know, the different kinds of goals, like dharma, artha, kama, or the material goal is one thing, and then moksha and prema. So these are all different goals that are there. So all the while he has been looking for some very very cheap goal, and now we have got some got an exposure of something wonderful. So, but he didn't see the Lord, right? He didn't see the Lord. He only saw the devotees. So then, how did he got an access to the goal? Because the topics that are conversed by the devotees, they are as good as the Supreme Lord, right? So like the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam or subject matter of Bhagavad Gita, the transcendental sound vibration. So he got a first-hand experience of the highest version of God, through the like conversation, through the like a description of the Vishnu Dutas. And when he got an exposure of that, so then no, उसके बाद like उसको लगा कि यही चाहिए मुझे. So like it is just like a child is playing with a toy, and then another child is coming with a better toy. So then this child will dump this toy. No, मुझे वही चाहिए. अरे तुम्हारा खिलौना तो है. No, उसके साथ खेलो. नहीं नहीं मुझे वही चाहिए. No. So like that. So when we give an experience of Krishna to people, so then immediately they will say that, okay, like, no, what am I doing with, no, the thing that I'm playing with? So I just want to give it up and I want this, no? Kuch to better dikh liya, and you understand it is better. So then immediately the child wants to get that toy, no? So something similar to that. So like this Ajamil got a first-hand experience of God realization, no? Like to have an audience, with such transcendental personalities, such liberated personalities as devotees of the Lord, coming directly from Vaikuntha. So there, his experience is undescribable, and he was going behind that experience. No, I want this experience now. So like then he was, one of the things that he did was very, very important thing, and Prabhupada also gives a very wonderful purport. He was condemning his material life. What all things I was doing? I was doing, breaking all the regulative principles, doing all kinds of nonsensical things, and murder or dacoity and whatever it is. So he was doing all these things. What kind of a person I am? And he was also feeling that he was condemning himself of all those things. So Prabhupada actually writes in the purport that one should not forget his past life. So one should remember that, and it is also useful, for advancing in Krishna consciousness. One should remember that, and one should feel, bad about it, and then, one should come to the this one of humility, platform of humility, and then, perform the bhajan. So then it actually acts as a very amazing catalyst, to make progress in Krishna consciousness. So here we discussed about this aspect of, the regular parameters of Jnana Vairagya. So so in both in the sadhana and in the realization it is there. So here we see that in the sadhana, when the Vairagya component is less and the Jnana component is less and more of material things are there, so then that is one version. So then the other packages like Jnana, Dhyana and Bhakti, so they vary. And in Bhakti Yoga, so in the stricter sense, the Bhakti Yoga means there is no component of matter exists there. It's only the spirit exists. That means the Bhakti Yoga is generally designed in such a way that you spend time like in the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. So sometimes people take up Ekanga Bhakti, where they simply chant, and then just basic bare minimum, like maybe like how the Goswamis were living, that few hours they would give to the body, like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. So I had an opportunity to live in or stay in a farm community for some time, like our Belgaum, this one. So there, in my beginning days of Krishna consciousness, and I saw some behavior of devotees, which appeared to me very crazy, very, very crazy. So like, one devotee, he got up and then for Mangalarti, and it's like he just ran to he was running as if some emergency has happened. He ran to this one. There is no bathroom and things like that and all. So only like some water will be there in some. They would have collected some water in some buckets and kept. There is no plastic allowed inside. First of all, only mud, stuffs over there. So and he would run as if some emergency is there, and you just pour water within not even 1 minute, pour water, and then he would run, run back, and he would peacefully sit and chant. So I was like, I could not tolerate. I asked him, why are you doing like this? Why don't you act little peacefully and things like that? Now you are peaceful in the temple hall. Why you are acting like that in the morning? So then, hey, Prabhu, we have to spend time in Krishna consciousness. It's like spending time for body is simply waste of time. I was going crazy. तो पागल आदमी लग रहा है. So अभी समझ में आ रहा है कि like what he was executing at the time. He was executing like high power Krishna consciousness. So that I couldn't comprehend at that point in time. It was too much of a bouncer for me. At least थोड़ा बहुत स्नान तो कर लें ना. स्नान तक नहीं करना चाहिए था कि क्या Krishna consciousness. So that was a shocker for me actually. So, already I came to 16 rounds and little bit I was practicing. If I would have seen all those things when I was doing 4 rounds and all, I would have run away from ये तो पागल लोग So, but anyways, those who want to go back to Godhead, very, very badly, so they have to see the activities of the residents of Vrindavan, and somewhere it should be somewhere close to that, so then we can understand, okay, like ye bhi jaane wala hai. So otherwise it is quite difficult, so otherwise it takes time. So there is no problem, it takes time. So we have to develop that desire and eagerness, and so we should steadily make advancement. So artificially, if we imitate that, this kind of eagerness, that is called sahajya, and then so we should not. That is another detrimental thing. So like we will not make progress by imitating. We should legitimately work for this. Our acharyas have this kind of a mood, and our process is very powerful. So we should not mess up with the the way of execution. So we should try to do it in a very, very systematic way, in a scientific way. The process is scientific, and we should approach it scientifically. So only the very expert who have almost retired from materialistic activities by the culture of spiritual knowledge can be admitted to the study of great science. This is basically the sannyasis. So like they are admitted into the study of Upanishads, so like which deals with Brahman. So strictly which deals with Brahman. So before that, all other things, they deal with, everything has to deal with Brahman. So without that, there is no life at all in the scriptures. So Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, all of them will deal with Brahman. So but then they also deal with a sufficient amount of material subjects, So that has been given up, and a person who is accustomed, or who is trained to see, the spirit, so he is like further, cultivated in the platform of spirit. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is clearly stated that out of many hundreds of thus, like such men, so like who have come to the platform of Brahman, so very, very few amongst them, actually will attain the transcendental realization of God actually. So, or the science, that is theological science dealing, with God as a person. So that is quite a niche, topic actually. So Sri Vyasadeva is therefore advised by Narada to describe the science of God directly by relating his transcendental activities. So this is something very wonderful. You all know this shloka in the 10th canto, like Bhavoshadi, Nivritta Tarshaya, Upagiyamana, Bhavoshadi, Shota Manobirama, Ka Uttama Shloka Gunanuvada, Kumar Virajeta, Bina Pashushna. Right? So this is in this shloka, it's very nicely mentioned. So like one nice sannyasi, he was mentioning a very nice analysis of this shloka. So he was telling that Nivritta Tarshaya, so Nivritta Tarshaya means like one who is completely given up all material engagements, and he is only engaged in the spiritual platform. For him it is nourishment. For him it is like, it is highly nourishing, this subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Nivritta Tarshaya Upagiyamana, Bhavoshadi, for people who are materially contaminated, these pastimes of the Supreme Lord, the pastimes of Krishna, so they are acting as a Bhava Oshadi, they are acting as a medicine. For liberated soul, the same pastime is acting as a nourishment, and like he cannot give up that. That is like greatly he's enjoying, and he's like that is his food. That is his basic food. And like for conditioned souls, it is acting like a medicine. So medicine turns into a food. That's so like that. So even in this one also, Nectar of Instruction also, it is mentioned that actually the holy name is like a sugar candy. It is fit to be consumed as a food. So, but right now our condition is so bad that we cannot get the taste of it. So, if you cannot take it as a food, at least take it as a medicine. So, like people also tell now, like when we invite for ISKCON mein aate hai, like you can come and then you can evening program is there, and after that we'll give prasadam. So, and then people think that प्रसाद ठीक है लाइक घर में जाके बनाना तो पड़ेगा लाइक नहीं पूरा डिनर बोलो नहीं प्रसाद तो प्रसादम मतलब नो दे अंडरस्टैंड लिटिल बिट फॉर देम लाइक दे टेक प्रसादम लाइक मेडिसिन so we take prasadam like food so something like that so here also that nivritta darshan so for the liberated souls for them, the descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord, that is a food, and for conditioned souls, it is like a prasadam, so like, only 16 rounds, आधा घंटा, 1 घंटा, maximum पढ़ेंगे भागवतम, that's all, that's like medicine, so, Nivritta Darshan is like, they are, दिन रात उनको, छूट नहीं रहे, actually, नाम छूट नहीं रहे, भागवत छूट नहीं रहे, like, it is going on and on and on and on, so that is like Nivritta Darshan, right? So, and for conditioned souls, like it is acting like a Bhava Oshadi, and so that is conditioned souls who are practitioners. And then conditioned souls who are not practitioners, who doesn't know like what is the goal of life and things like that, for them, like it is Manoranjan, So like Shrota Manobhiramat, so that is there. So this Sannyasi was mentioning that, the same pastime of Krishna, it acts in 3 ways, common person like आम आदमी in the street, he hears that अच्छा है like इतना अच्छा first time है इसमें like romance है इसमें like violence है इसमें like सब कुछ है so it is good it is good like it is almost like seeing a movie it is so nice, and for a sadhaka it is acting like a medicine. He wants to cure himself and then it is acting like a medicine, and for highly advanced souls it is actually acting like a food. It is just nourishing him like anything, right? So in this way, like the Bhagavatam, this descriptions of the pastimes of the Lord. So one may think that like the first Narada Muni is telling that only expert persons can dwell into the subject of Brahman and the Supreme Lord and things like that. And Prabhupada also resonates with that. Theological science is a difficult subject. It is not possible for people to understand. But this is such an amazing thing. The topics of the Supreme Lord, the pastimes of the Supreme Lord is such an amazing thing. So even for common people, it is a manoranjan, and it is for like for the sadhakas, it is actually acting like a medicine. And for liberated souls, there is one class is sufficient. Bhagavatam class, one class is sufficient. सबको अपना अपना जो लेना है ले लेंगे. So जो खाना है खाएंगे, जो medicine लेना लेंगे, और जो enjoy करने करेंगे. So like it is the same thing, that is enjoyed in different ways. But philosophical class, not everybody can enjoy. That is only for sadhakas. So not for advanced souls and not for materialistic people. So like philosophy is like. For advanced souls, like they think that okay, fine, let me spend more time on relishing, Krishna. They also understand philosophy. They also relish philosophy. More than that, they relish the pastimes of the Lord. So, and for materialistic people, philosophy means like, so they will systematically, only purpose of philosophy, they will systematically prove whatever I am doing is wrong. Why should I go to such a, so why should I go to such a kind of a philosophical class, So, but when there is a class on the pastime, so that is like, it attracts everybody, and everybody is, everybody gets their stuff, so that is very nice. So that's why pastimes are very nice, but if it is, it also should be presented, in line with the philosophy, right? So in that way it should be done. So now we see that Vyasadeva is therefore advised by Narada to describe the signs of God. Yeah, so it is very difficult to penetrate. So, but then for common people also, Narada Muni is telling, rather than giving them other forms of this one, you should still give the topmost thing in a different package, like the pastimes of the Lord, so that it actually penetrates their heart. They may just take it as a material sense gratification, a manoranjan. So, but then it acts very nicely on their heart. It very quickly it actually saves them. So Narada Muni is such a preacher that like the Supreme Lord is a father, and all the living entities are the sons, and the son is like, and Narada Muni is the friend of the father, and the children are all admitted in ICU. And the doctor, Vyasadeva is the doctor. No, वो बोल रहा है कि like no, हम एक medicine देंगे धीरे धीरे क्योर होगा. And no, पिताजी का friend आके बोल रहा है like no, पिताजी रो रहे हैं उधर. No, जल्दी से इसको ठीक करके भेजो. No, कितने देर इसको ICU में रखेंगे. No, so like नहीं नहीं दवा इतना टाइम लेता है. अरे वो इंट्रावेनस है ना उसको लगाओ. No, ला के निकालो उसको. No, पिताजी विरह में है. So like that. So it is in this way. So Narad Muni is coming and advising to Vyasadeva that no, please expedite the process of Krishna consciousness. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost theological science, and therefore it can react on the layman as medicinal doses. Because it contains the transcendental activities of the Lord, there is no difference between the Lord's and the literature. No? So this literature is literally the incarnation of the God, right? So the literature is factually literary incarnation of Lord. So the layman can hear the narration of the activities of the Lord. So just like we have Tulsi Maharani. So how do we worship Tulsi Maharani? By offering water to her roots. So that's how we worship Tulsi Maharani. And we take the dust from the lotus feet of such a great devotee as Tulsi Maharani. So like, we have deities. How do we worship them? So by performing arati, right? And we have dhams. How do we worship the dhams? So by visiting the dham, by staying in the dham, and doing some dham seva, so by serving people who are staying in the dham. So like that, different entities, we serve them differently. So we have the book, we have the God in the form of book, the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. How do we serve this book? By the way of recitation, recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Study of this book and recitation. So like even if we chant the shlokas, even if we recite these purports, that is very nice actually. Even if we don't understand, if we just simply do the recitation, just read and hear. So just like how we do in the in the chanting, just simply chant and hear. So even if we do like that, simply chant and hear. So Vaisheshika often during Kartik month, he brings all his devotees and they come and stay in Vrindavan and in Govardhan also. And then they do only one activity. No class, nothing. Simply read. From morning till night. So or 7 hours or 8 hours or something like that. They simply read. And they take turns to read and everybody sits with the book and read and hear. That's all. No explanation, no katha, nothing. Simply read. So it is very, very powerful actually. Very powerful. It is many times, I've heard this challenge from many senior devotees, that any tough nut you take, and then if he agrees to sit down and read Prabhupada's books for 4 hours, 5 hours like that in a day, so and you just put him through that process for a week or 10 days, you will see the transformation and difference in the personality actually. So that is how powerful is this book. So that's why we are often asked please spend time with the book. Please spend time with this transcendental purports. So it's very, very powerful actually. Very powerful. Anybody who spends time with the holy name and Bhagavatam. So though we stand for these two things, so but often other things take so much of importance, and then these things, the importance of these things gets, or the focus in these things gets minimized, and then we say somehow or other chant 16 rounds and somehow other read half an hour or 1 hour, and then just to clock this one. So but then if we understand, if we put the undivided attention and exposure to this, amazing miraculous results actually we can see. It is so simple, the process is so simple. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, that's all. So even Smaranam also not needed, just Shravanam and Kirtanam. That is so powerful, very, very powerful process. So simply we have to sit with the book and read and hear the transcendental sound vibration. It's so powerful. So because it is literally incarnation of God, and this is the process of worship of Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? So thereby, so laymen, when they hear about these activities of the Lord, so thereby they are able to associate with the Lord and thus gradually become purified from material disease. The expert devotees also can discover novel ways, means to convert the non-devotees in terms of particular time and circumstance. And devotional service is dynamic activity. And the expert devotees can find out competent means to inject into the dull brains of materialistic what is it? The devotional, okay. So the